Now in this question, the what is given is that the length of seconds hand in a watch is 1 centimeter. The second hand of the watch is of length 1 centimeter, and we have to find the magnitude of change in velocity. Velocity means linear velocity of its tip in 15 seconds. Also, we have to find the magnitude of average acceleration during this interval. So here the first thing that we should know is that the time period of the second hand second hand of the clock can be represented by capital T, and this is equal to 60 seconds, means that the second hand of the clock completes one revolution in 60 seconds. We all know that. So the time period of the second hand will be equal to 60 seconds. Also, omega is also written as 2 pi by t, that is 2 pi upon the time period. So if we put the value of t here, then we will get 2 pi by 60, or the value of angular velocity will be equals to pi by 30 radians per second. The velocity of its tip, that is v, we know that the relation between v and omega is v equals to r omega, and r is the radius of the circle that the second hand will make. This rate that will be equal to the length of the hand, which is given as 1 centimeter. So this will be 1 into pi by 30, so this will come out to be pi by 30 centimeters per second, because we have put the value of r in centimeters, 1 centimeter, so it will be pi by 30 centimeters per second. Now you might say that the solution has ended here and this is our final answer, but notice this, that the velocity is a vector quantity, and right now we have only found out the magnitude of one part of the velocity. When the second hand is going around in a circle in the interval of 15 seconds, the angle of the second hand has also changed. So if initially the second hand was supposed like this and it started moving, then in 15 seconds it will be here, which will make an angle of 90 degree. In 15 seconds it is the 1/4 of the entire circle, so it will be make an angle of 90 degree. So if we say that at this point the velocity is v1, then at this point the velocity will be v2, and v1 will be towards right and v2 will be towards will be downward. So the angle between v1 and v2 will be 90 degree. Now we have to find the change in velocity in 15 seconds. So change in velocity means final minus initial velocity. So change in velocity we can write as delta v, and this should be equal to v2 minus v1. So this is a change in velocity in vector form, but we have to find the magnitude of change in velocity. So that means we have to find the magnitude of this delta v. Now if we look at the vectors, then v2 is in downward direction and v1 is towards the right, but we have to find v2 minus v1, so we need minus v1. To get minus v1 we will reverse this vector, and this vector will be equal to minus v1. So the delta v will be resultant of these two vectors, so we'll make a parallelogram, and this will give us the resultant from parallelogram law of vector addition. Now we know that the value of this resultant, which will give us the value of delta v, this is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. Now both v1 and v2 are pi by 30, only that the magnitude is same, only the direction is changing. That's why we have to find out the resultant. So that means it will be pi by 30 square plus pi by 30 square. So if you solve this, it will be 2 pi by 30 square so it will come out to be root 2 pi by 30. This will be the value of magnitude of change in velocity. So this will be root 2 pi by 30 centimeter per second. We also have to find the magnitude of average acceleration during this interval. So average acceleration A we know that this is given as delta v by delta t. So we can use this value here. This will be root 2 pi by 30 upon delta t. So delta t is 15. So the value of average acceleration will be root 2 pi upon 450 centimeter per second square. So we use this formula initially, omega equals to 2 pi by t. So there are some variations in the formula of omega which are sometimes very useful in certain problems, and you should remember these formula 2 pi by t, or it will be equal to 2 pi into frequency. We know that the frequency is reciprocal of time period. So either omega can be written as 2 pi by time period, or we can write it as 2 pi into frequency. Now the important thing is that in some questions we are given a value, but we are not told whether the value is angular velocity or angular frequency. Now these two are two very different things. If suppose it is given in the question that there is a ring and it is rotating and it is rotating 200 times in a second, then this is not the angular velocity which is given to us. It is the angular frequency which is given. It is telling us how many times the ring is rotating in 1 second. This same information can also be written as 200 revolutions per second or 200 rotation per second. Now whenever such kind of information given, then you should automatically think that this is the frequency which is given to us. So that means this is not the value of omega, and using this value we have to find the value of omega. So if we use frequency, we will use this formula 2 pi by 2 pi into frequency. So it will be 2 pi into 200. So omega will be 400 pi radians per second. So make sure that you notice the unit, because unit will give you the hint whether the given value 200 is frequency or angular velocity, because in some questions it will be written as angular velocity also and angular frequency also. But you should not get confused. If the unit is revolution per second or rotation per second or 200 times in a second rotating, if it is written like this, then it is the frequency, it is not the angular velocity. Using this value we will find the angular velocity by using this formula. So we can use either 2 pi by t if the time period is given, or if the frequency is given, just like I told here, then we will use the formula 2 pi f to find the value of angular velocity. So make sure that you notice these units.